Uncle Jason's watching. Cheering you on. Oh, your team manager from Kuwait, he's watching even though he doesn't like Audis. Tim Jones is watching. Thanks, Tim, for the support. Mike Featherstone's watching. Now the reason, not the only reason, that Charlie's qualifying well and doing well is because his driver rating and sportsmanship rating was knocked down from the top 2%. So he's back down with the others, and it means for a more emotional experience for Charlie, because there's some not so good drivers anyway. Well, let's see how this pans out, but we're expecting some shoves from behind, but we'll just have to deal with it. There's a German behind and what's he behind? I don't know what these countries are. Spanish fourth. Carry on, Charles. Don't look. Go. Concentrate. You're not going very fast to brake light. I forgot to tell you, you're not doing the 150, 160 that you normally go. Right, we've got a German behind in a BMW. Charlie, don't defend, get back over. If he wants to go, he's going to have to come underneath, isn't he? Like that. Now, you've got the line. Here we go. Oh, that's fair enough. I was expecting a bit more than this, but we haven't got a lap through yet, so we'll see. There's a lot of places for overtaking at Interlagos. These slow corners. Once you're on the inside, then you're on the outside. Of course, you can get pushed into the gravel. But anyway. Nice, good, clean first lap. A little look from the BMW behind, but not strong enough. Charlie's only been dropped back to B. It's only one level he went back to. By the way, I've never been able to get to B until Charlie took over my account, and then got me to be. So I've been doing it for 15 years and still never got to B. And Charlie's been all the way up to A, nearly A+, then got swiped back down to B, I think, and then C in sportsmanship because of that Tokyo race. The penalty system isn't brilliant. It's still not fixed. They keep trying to fix it, but it's hard to get the computer to realise when you haven't made a mistake and you're pushed into the guy in front and you're pushed into the wall or off the track. It still penalises you, not realising it wasn't your mistake. And it's all FIA approved, so it's the same for everyone. Charlie keeping about half a second in front of this BM constantly. So one little mistake and he'll be right on him. There's a French guy behind that and then two English guys, British guys behind. I think one of them's in another Audi. No need for pit stops or fuel stops, tyre stops, anything like that. He's racing hard tyres. Just about last the whole race, only just. Last race, Charlie was trying to conserve his tyres. Only managed to qualify 11th and came 10th, but thought this time you just go for it. And it's paid off. He's changed his tactics to this track. He's much more aggressive than he was. He's braking later, throwing it in, which does take it out the tyres. Only the fronts, the rears don't get worn at all on this Audi. But the last few times he's been trying to conserve them and trying to drive a little bit less aggressive, but just couldn't get anywhere. So now attacks every corner, brakes very late, very hard, uses all the width of the track, as you can here. You can get the tyres right on the white lines, and you can see there he's trying to throw it into that first apex but just slid past, and this one goes into the apex, manages to grab the curve, sets him up nicely for this one, and then this is a deep late apex here, pulls it right back in. It's over the crest. This is the worst corner of Interlagos for me. I can't get this right ever. It's like an adverse camber here, and then you're out onto the right. If you get this wrong, you've got to put a foot on the dirt there, and you're off down that hill. You're never getting back. But still half a second from the BM in behind, who's going to be wearing his rears out more, being rear-wheel drive. Whereas Charlie's just wearing his fronts out. So Charlie's going to experience understeer a lot. BM's going to experience oversteer. Got a nice commanding lead. 140s, 140.2 is the fastest lap, and that's Charlie's. 140.286 and a second lap. And I should imagine the laps aren't going to get any quicker as the tyres wear. We're on still about 95%. We had the force feedback on the wheel up to the maximum when he was go-karting to try and build his muscles up. But he's been on this simulator now 10 hours, 12 hours now, and we've had to turn it down, just to back down to the normal, back down to 5, just to give his arms a rest, because at this time of night no good torturing yourself, especially when you can get the wind. Now he's a second in front of the BM, so pulling away by half a second there. It's a bit boring being in the lead, but we thought there'd be a lot more missiles coming from behind from the Spanish, but they're a lot further back. The first Spanish guy is 6th and the next one's 8th, so nicely out the way. Hanging on nicely, hanging on for dear life round there. Millimetre perfect again. That's what it's all about. Consistency. And every lap's been a 140. Now he's 1.8 seconds behind. Oh, he was. Now he's 1.4, so slow. He's definitely pulling away from the BM behind. So I'll go across the line and we'll see it's 1.5 seconds. So it's another half a second quicker. Actually, it's 1.8 across the line. Perfect. 11 laps, this is lap 7. Tyres are 90% on the fronts, 100% on the rears. That was a 141.1, so they are going off slowly, but the BM is suffering a lot more behind. He's 2.2 seconds behind now. His rears are really being chewed up. A bit boring to watch actually. It's Charlie driving round as fast as he can. But it's nice to see. No one attacking him. So that sector's half a second down, so expecting this to be another slower lap, about 141.6 maybe, as we go into lap 8. Oh, that was even back into the 140s, but it was 140.9. That's 0.2 quicker than the last lap. .5 seconds ahead of the second place man now. There's no chance of them catching him. He's just not got to put a foot wrong. And I can see on the map that the Frenchman in 3rd and the 4th place British guy are miles behind. They're 5 or 6 seconds behind the German. And then after them, I bet there's 10-second gap before the rest of the pack, which is a Spanish guy in 5th, followed by a British guy, and then another Spanish guy, and then another British guy. Charlie should have painted a sign on his car saying, "I'm only 10." That would have wound him up a bit. Another, that's even quicker. What are you doing? How are you doing this then? So he's getting quicker now. I don't know. Oh, the fuel's going down. Fuel's only half a tank. Good thinking, Charlie. Fuel is going down, so the car's getting lighter, and the wear is still 90%. So his aggressive driving isn't that aggressive. 3 seconds now to the BM behind. Logan Gun 666 is the German, and then Enzo 83 is the French guy. Yep, 3.5 seconds on lap 9. Just pulling away. Are you deliberately looking after your tyres, Charles, or just driving flat out? A little bit. He's looking after him a little bit. And there we go, 1:41.3. That's the slowest lap so far. But 3.3 seconds ahead of the second place man, so he can ease off a little bit, which is what he's doing. Just saving his tyres a little bit for the end of the race, because we've got 2 laps now, 1.5 laps to go. Relax too much though, because that's when you lose your concentration and you're off. And 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds is enough for the guy to get past you and you're into the gravel. So Charlie's still got the fastest lap on the second lap. A commanding lead all the way through. Trying to burn off as much fuel as he can, holding it in the gears as long as he can. Normally he's fuel saving, this time he wants the car as light as possible. So he's hanging on in the gears, no short shifting. That's what he normally does if he's got fuel stops and when you can see just effortlessly driving around like a madman. 3.8 seconds now away from the guy, so really pulling away, and he's slowed right down on his laps. This is the final lap. There's a late 1:41 on the last lap where he's really looking after his tyres, and now this is it, last half a lap he can just apply the pressure again. you ever started from pole before, Charles? Have you ever started from pole?
Yeah.
You have? And won?
What do you mean?
Have you ever started from pole position and won before? I don't think you've ever led the race all the way like that.
No.
That's like,
No.
yeah. And yet he's eating his grapes on the way as well. He's got first. Yeah? You got first, didn't he, Harry? Look. Very good. Okay. We don't know what the race is on Tuesday, do we?
No.
No, not sure.
No. I'll take a look.
Yeah, we'll take a look and we'll be back on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye-bye.